Hey everyone, welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back for the followers. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good holiday weekend. Last weekend, hope you were able to find some peace, someplace dry. Miss Lucy and I enjoyed a 4-day camping trip, although it rained probably 50 to 75% of the trip. But it was still good to get out and build a fire and cook some meals over the fire pit and just enjoy some time away. We were able to spend the day with Mrs. Festus and Festus up on the mountain and got about 5 or so quality hours together, which was very enjoyable. It was good to see my brother from another mother and catch up some and chat on lots of topics and just see how he's doing post-surgery recovery, and he's coming along well, so he'll be okay. So that's good to know. Hey, I don't know if you've been paying attention to everything that's taking place in the nation and around the world. Lots of crazy things are happening that's not being reported or given much emphasis at all as we head into summer. Here in East Tennessee, we're being bombarded with rain. Over the last 30 years, the average rainfall here was about 3.4 inches of rain for the month of May. And we're right at 9 inches, counting the rain last night and the rain this morning, and more rain forecasted over the next 2.5 days. So we could easily hit 10 inches of rain. So it's a bit odd. I'm sure other locations are enduring the same amount of water. We'll see how it impacts the garden. Hopefully it consumes the precipitation. It doesn't cause root rot in vegetables that are already planted and growing. So time will tell. The U.S. State Department put out a warning about 5 days ago. Where they put it out about was not surprising, but what it entailed was a bit surprising. The State Department updated their travel warning for Mexico. Now, this is there has been a travel warning out for Mexico for some time now. Crime, kidnapping, assassinations, drugs, and so on and so forth. Oftentimes, when Americans they still choose to go to Mexico on travel, and when they go to these resorts, they're kind of sheltered in, and they don't see what's happening in the communities and the streets of Mexico. There is an increased border war going on between the United States and Mexican cartels right now. Assassinations of police officers, Mexican police officers, continues for those who are not infiltrated into the police department all the way to the top. And the advisory that came out also now is including locations where cruise ships come into port, Cozumel and Constamayo port. And it made me think back to a few months ago when Miss Lucy and I took a short cruise for her birthday, and we ported at Cozumel, and we weren't out off the boat long. we had to run off the boat and find a store to buy something real quick, and then we made our way back to the cruise ship. But while we were off the boat, something that we kind of experienced that I'm always vigilant and pay attention to my surroundings. And we was walking through a very small village right there at the port, touristy. And Miss Lucy was kind of lured into a cosmetic shop. I was about 15 feet from her while she was talking, and there was a large security guard in civilian clothes standing outside. And I kind of placed myself between the guard and where Miss Lucy was at, but I was just kind of scanning around with my eyes and looking at the surroundings of what was around. And around the corner came three law enforcement officers and a military person from the Mexican military with a K9. And the security guard stepped over to me and he whispered, "Get rid of your cocaine. That's a cocaine dog." And, I looked at him kind of oddly and said, "Well, I don't have any cocaine." He said, "If you have any on you, they will bust you and you will go to jail." That's kind of stood out in my mind. And when I saw this travel warning that came out, I immediately reflected back to that, because some of the things I read and heard explained is how tourists will be set up. They will be arrested for almost anything and held for weeks and months in Mexican jails, which is a place you don't want to be. And just for very simple things, violations of your entry papers, your passport, your ID, maybe from a past visit to there, and you checked out and left the country and maybe had a $10 surcharge on a bill that went unpaid, and you would get arrested for it. And right now the relationship between the United States and Mexico is poor. So keep these things in mind. It's not business as usual. I'm not saying that everyone that goes there is going to get arrested and put in jail, but you don't want to be that statistic and end up in a Mexican jail or held in a Mexican prison when you're found guilty for a petty crime. So that's down on the southern border. There's still more stories out there. Prices are not dropping, if at all, in grocery stores. There's rumors of global and national food shortages. I was talking to a retired business person, recently retired, and we were talking about the state of the nation, and he was telling me about where things are right now with more chain stores that are struggling and going to be going bankrupt over the coming months in 2025, which basically, because the hiring numbers are not good right now, that most likely will mean for many of these stores that hires Christmas help, they probably won't be hiring. So where they typically can get a surge in employment numbers for the year reported to the government, they won't have them, and many of them will not survive winding out 2025. So economically, things are still struggling. If you watch Washington D.C., it's an absolute power struggle, and more of what the current president endured in the first term. He is being roadblocked almost at every approach. And when you think that we have a Republican Congress, Republican Senate, Republican president, that the agenda would be moving forward and things would be looking up. But It's just not happening, and we kind of warned of this prior to this administration, was that it's going to be more of the same. Uh, Kudos to the president for continuing and trying to push forward, but the status of his safety is probably a red alert. Any opportunity to harm him is probably a possibility, with so many threats, unknown threats, internationally and domestically. Um, it's kind of staggering, and some of the faces that was appointed to key positions within the federal government to head law enforcement entities, investigative entities, justice entities, homeland security, and things of that nature. Um, I'm starting to wonder if some have already drank the Kool-Aid to Washington, D.C. in the swamp, because some of the things that are being publicly commented on is alarming. Um, One thing that I would ask the um, ICE director, Mr. Holman, I would like to know. We see videos of all these folks being arrested and being deported out, and we see videos of them, and they're mostly all Hispanic. Um, what about the million plus Chinese men, the military age, that cross the border into our country? And where are they? Because we're not seeing any proof or any discussion on them being deported out. So maybe there's a plan for them. I know they were planning on different stages of deportation. So give the benefit of the doubt that that is coming, but the eyes are still on that topic as to where are all the Chinese males and when are they going to be deported. I was in a barber shop this morning, which is a great place to hang out to hear discussions and have discussions. And I was listening to a customer and the barber have a discussion about robotics on the local level, and they were discussing how in many employers that robots are replacing humans, and many of these humans being replaced are 40 plus years old, and they are at an age where unless they get reskilled in some form of computer, IT, repairing robots and things of that nature, they're going to have an extremely hard time finding employment. And this is going to be not just a national problem, it's going to be a global problem. You see, this whole move to robotics has been planned for years and years and years. Festus and I spent a lot of time over the last 15 years learning more and studying how robotics is going to replace so many professions: banking, real estate, medical, assembly lines, things of that nature, grocery stores. You're basically, everything you do, you're going to be met by putting in on a menu, and robotics of some form will perform the task that you are at this business um, to get. I mean, think about just in the automotive, not just the assembly line, but think about auto repairs, how the mechanics of old who could work on cars, well, they've been outdated. And now if you go to like Advanced Auto and these type places, an employee will come out and plug a device into your car, and it'll give them a code, and it'll tell them where the problem's at on your automobile. So many cars today are built where some form of robotics is going to identify and potentially fix the problem, because the past mechanics are not going to have the skills to work on newer automobiles. This will go with airlines, this will go with trains, this will go with farm tractors, things of that nature. So the workforce is being replaced by robotics, and this was planned many years ago. It's happening everywhere, and the question is, so what happens to all these individuals who are laid off and let go and they can't find jobs? Remember, I told you in a past video how George Soros or Klaus Schwab at the WEF, World Economic Forum, commented in the past couple months before being cooed out at the WEF, how by the first of the year, start of 2026, as many as 40% of the global workforce could already be replaced by robotics. It's going to get even higher than that. The eventual goal is 75 to 90% of the workforce. The number one employer of the future will be counseling. You can learn more on that by reading writings by Patrick M. Wood, Transhumanism, Technocracy, and the Coming Movement, and things of that nature. This is real, and it was interesting to hear the two gentlemen at the barbershop having this discussion, how this is impacting even down at the lowest levels. It's all around us. So we're facing food shortages, natural disasters that are more and more frequent, crime, economic issues, global wars. It's not going to change. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer and a doom and gloomer. I'm just telling you the facts. Okay? So all I'm here to do is to try to get your attention, to pay attention. Knowledge is power, and the power is the more prepared that you get yourself, both in resources and also psychologically. The psychological preparedness will help drive your resource preparedness. Okay? It is as important to be psychologically prepared and spiritually prepared as in any other area. All right? But only you can decide that. It's totally up to you. So before I end this video, I wanted to share with you My Patriot Supply recently had a really good sale, 40 to 60% off on selected items, and I grabbed a few to try out, and I tried this Beyond Outdoor Meal earlier today, and it's a serving for two. You just add water, hot water, and it's freeze-dried biscuits and gravy. You'd know if it was biscuits and gravy, I'd be trying it. And again, this is a serving for two, and they had these about 50% off. It was a Memorial Day sale, but I think the sale might still be continued right now if you go check. But give it a shot. They had some great prices on spaghetti and meatballs, stroganoff with freeze-dried chicken, biscuits and gravy, and some other items. So anyway, stay safe out there. Keep your head in the game. Keep your head on a swivel. But enjoy your life. We only get one, and there's no guarantee of tomorrow. So live for today. Make today its fullest. Do something good for you and your family, and also continue to get involved in your community. Community is where it's at. every day that I live and the more and more time I spend in preparedness, um, I am more and more convinced that you have to have community. Okay, and we started teaching community preparedness about 5 years ago, and I'm seeing more and more people on YouTube, preppers and non-preppers, who talk about the importance of surviving through community, and that's where it's at. Okay, um, so anyway, take care. Have a blessed weekend. If you like this video, please hit like, and if you haven't subscribed, um, subscribe and share with others to get their attention. Try to help them out where you can, but keep the train moving forward. All right, and most importantly, remember, we are blessed people, and don't forget to count your blessings. Bravo Echo out. Thank you for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. If you are new to Hope for Survival, you can check out our books at our webpage. Book 1, which is Hope for Survival, Getting You Prepared for Disasters, and Book 2, Hope for Survival, The Mindset, are both available for order on the website. We also offer the Hope for Survival football stick, which is a memory stick set up as a digital filing cabinet with files already loaded on there for you to digitally copy items such as deeds, auto transcript for ownership, wills, living wills, loans, banking information, items that if your home burned down or you had some form of a disaster, you could have all your important papers already digitally filed on this stick. All you do is simply drag the digital file into the appropriate preset folder so that you'll have it in the event of a disaster. You have to flee your home in a hurry, or also if you're away from home and you need critical information that's personal, if you have your memory stick with you, you can put it in your computer and pull that information up wherever you may be. Again, you can find these items to order at our website, https www.hopeforsurvival.com, or you can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com, and I will try to help you out. Again, thanks for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. Hope to see you again.